I set up my little bird bath. I'll have to get it in here. Today is the day. We're gonna start ripping the garden out. We actually have been intending to do this the last few days, but every time I start, it starts to rain. And today we decided that we would rip the garden out in the rain if we had to, and it's actually very nice outside. Sick tomato plants, lots of sick plants, lots of stuff that's just finishing up and it's just not gonna produce any more fruit. And so it's time to make way for something that is gonna give us something to eat. Very, very bittersweet, actually. I always have a little bit of a hard time with the day that we rip the garden out, but seasons change. And that, as hard as it is sometimes, is always something to celebrate. It's not recording. There's Ben Turn. He's helping. And Ben Turn 2.0, right? Oh.
Tired Ben Turn.
Tired Ben Turn 2.0.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, did you just go get those baskets for me? Awesome. All right. Okay, so. Yeah. So Benjamin, what we are going to do now is we're going to go pick all the fruit. We're going to pick all the tomatoes, green and ripe. Benjamin found another riding spider over on the tomatillos. That means we have 2 giant spiders in the garden. I welcome them here, but they do make me nervous. Hey Ben, little Ben, come here. Look, our lady bees are all over these sunflowers. Come look. It's one of our girlies. They're enjoying the sunflowers.
There's the other one right here.
Do you see another one?
Yeah.
Cool. That's neat, huh? Say, go make us some honey. Honey?
Have some honey.
Look how loaded her little legs are with pollen. Isn't that cool?
Let's go up there.
So I'm walking through the garden and I was looking for some suckers that I could pull off of some, oh, spider on my camera. I was looking for some suckers that I could pull off some tomato plants and start new plants, or, you know, restart plants from those suckers for the fall, hoping to get some tomatoes in the fall. However, all of my tomatoes are really sickly, and I feel like if I try to plant suckers from them, they probably won't last that long, and I'm just going to be keeping disease. All of these plants that we're pulling are actually going into the burn pile. Once they're sick like that, you don't want to put them back in your compost. But speaking of compost, this compost bin, which we actually haven't been using this year because we wanted to do something different and kind of have a better setup. This compost bin has multiple tomato plants growing in it. And so I'm thinking maybe I could get some tomatoes or some suckers off of these. What do you think, Ben?
Oh,
That's a sunflower, it looks like.
Yeah,
I don't know, the leaves are a little weird, but I don't know. Got lots of good stuff coming up in here.
Hey!
Look over there. Look at all those tomatoes. Come on, get down. Alright, so there's a pretty good amount of fruit in there. Most of it's green, but I'll still be able to do some stuff with it. Maybe make some like green tomato relish. Everything else that gets pulled today, if it's not sick, then it will go to the pigs or the goats. We usually kind of divvy that up to the different animals and let them go at it. One thing that I have been asked multiple times, and I will show you guys with these melons back here. A lot of you have asked about clearing off the cattle panel trellises when the season is up and how you get everything off of them. And if you've got plants that died from like disease or whatever, they come off relatively easily by just pulling on it. But if you've got stuff like beans specifically, or things that are still relatively alive even though they're not producing much anymore, these can be really, really tightly wrapped and they can be really difficult to get off. I'll either use pruners and make some snips along the way and then pull them off, or I'll go ahead and uproot from the bottom. Look at that. Y'all, look at this. Look. A little critter thief has been here. They left some of them for us, but they completely emptied the sunflower. What?
That's a drone.
Oh, it's the drone.
I
was like, that buzzing sound cannot be good. I was like, you can have the sunflower, whatever you are. I just heard this really intense buzzing and I was like, oh my God, what is that? It's the drone. I thought that there was some like incredibly angry nest of hornets or something coming to get us. But yeah, this sunflower head has been largely robbed by some critter.
Turned that drone on and we thought an entire like hive of bees was about to attack us.
So a lot of these sunflower seeds down here are still whole. So whatever came and got these knocked them all out and didn't take them. However, you can see right here. So I'm thinking it's probably like a little squirrely or something to have carried them all right here and opened them. But is that crazy? Wow, whatever did it, like visited several posts and sat and snacked over there too. That is so funny. This is an entire pile of them. Well, a squirrel could have climbed the sunflower itself though and got it out.
That's funny.
So actually don't get upset when the critters steal my sunflower seeds because we just grow the sunflowers for how pretty they are. You could totally grow them for food. If I were really like adamantly trying to preserve those seeds for us to eat, I would have like tied a pillowcase or a scarf or something over the head of the sunflower before it started to ripen so that, you know, I could beat the animals to it. As it is, I just think it's fascinating. Last year we did save some of them and we pretty much fed them to our chickens is what we did with them. But yeah, they're definitely getting to these. Like, look at this head. I really want to show y'all how big this is. Got some noodle beans before those come out. What I did there was I didn't pull out the old noodle beans. I just threw some more seeds in and let them grow up over the old ones because I thought, well, it'll be fine. But it's really just too crowded and a mess. So we're gonna pull them out. But I still have time to plant another trellis with noodle beans. I still have like 65 days in my season here. And so I can actually grow a lot, 65 to 70, and sometimes you end up with bonus days. So I can still grow a lot of cucumbers, beans, and squash as far as warm weather stuff. And then I can put in all of the cold weather stuff, which I've been getting my seeds together to know exactly what I'm gonna plant for that soon, because I can grow well into the winter here with that. All your brassicas and peas, beets and root vegetables, they're typically fine until like 20 degrees Fahrenheit-ish. Like, you know, that's give or take. Sometimes it'll get really cold and knock them out, but sometimes they do fine, especially with a light cover. They can stand up to a lot of cold. Uh-oh, Ben, what just happened? Ben, what just happened?
He got in a tree.
He got in a tree.
See it? I don't see it.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Well, we have a couple options.
How many of them involve someone climbing up in the tree?
One of them, but I think our best option is maybe just to shake that. It's like literally wedged. Like, I don't think you're gonna get it down with the props. I think we may just have to shake that limb and try to catch it. You know what I mean? Because I can't climb. It's just not gonna hold me.
I forgot where it was.
Oh, let me make sure I got it. You go over by Mom.
Here, come here.
Of course, there's a ditch right next to me in case I have to juke left.
You ready?
Mommy, I found
Sure.
a piece of grass around the brook. Mom, I found a piece of grass around the
Alright, it's gonna go on this next one, I think.
Oh,
Alright, how married to this limb are you?
not that married.
Okay.
Oh gosh, don't get yourself hurt.
Hold on, hold on. You're getting it outside of my catch radius.
Oh man.
It's okay, keep it coming. If you just keep climbing, it'll fall. And now it's back at the top.
Alright, one more try.
So that's what the garden looks like after we've been working on tearing it out for an hour. The downsides of having a big garden. I gotta get another battery, you guys. I might miss the drone conundrum coming to a head. Okay, take 2.
I think we should take a walk.
Save drone.
You think we should take a walk? Hold on, we gotta save the drone out of the tree. Oh, Ben.
Oh yeah, that's the drone. And on my face.
Alright,
Okay, get out of the way.
Go.
Whoa. Hey, Daddy, can we take a walk now?
Got it down without her.
Hold on.
Touch it.
Is it damaged?
No, it looks like it's alright.
Drone footage.
Can I grab it?
Drones are a grown man's excuse to have a remote control toy. Just so we're clear. Alright, so all of the beans I'm just gonna pull up from the bottom. And these I'll just leave alone for the next couple of days. And once they start drying out, I'll come. They'll break a lot easier and it'll be a lot easier to get off. I empty my pockets of seeds on a regular basis, specifically beans because they're so easy to just pop open and save. One time I was in a dressing room at a clothing store and I was changing clothes, trying some things on, and like this many seeds just like scattered out along the floor underneath all of the dressing rooms. And I was like, somebody is gonna come in here and see a bunch of beans on the floor and think, what? How in the world did a bunch of beans get on the floor of this fitting room? I was like, maybe a gardener will see it and they'll understand. I think seed gluttony is like a real thing. Hoarding, I don't think it's so much hoarding, but it's just like, all these beans are here, they're dried up, and I'm pulling the garden out, and so I'm going to pull these beans out, and they're here, and in each pod is like 8 seeds. That's 8 more plants. And so I think, well, I'll just pull a few of them. I'll just save a few of these seeds. I liked these beans. I already have some saved. This is the Tanya's pink potted bean. And so I'm like, well, I'll just go ahead and save some more. And then I'll pop one open and I get them all. And then I'm like, well, here's one more. So I pop it open and I get them all. And then I'm like, well, here's one more. And the next thing I know, I've been sitting here for like 10 minutes, shelling out these bean seeds and sticking them in my pocket. Hopefully I don't scatter them on a dressing room floor somewhere. And it's hard to say, okay, I have enough seeds. Those are words that just never come out of my mouth, ever. I never feel like, okay, I can stop now. I have enough seeds. And I do. I have enough seeds. But not really. Just one more pod. I mean, they're here. It's like 8 more plants.
I'm gonna go grab some supplies.
Are you coming in to do live with me? I don't know what that means.
It means I will rise up like an eagle and do a live with you.
That's dramatic. Oh, such a short but sweet season. The one big thing about tearing the garden out makes it bearable is knowing that I'm about to be able to put it back in again. The fall garden for me is a lot harder to tear out because then it's winter and then you're not growing anything, and then that's sad. But, the end of the summer garden is definitely difficult. A lot of you have commented and they're like, man, it feels like you just started your seeds, and I guess that's just life. You know, we move from one season to the next and sometimes they just fly right by, and I think this gardening season was one of those for sure. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. I bless you. Until next time.